Dan, did you consume a lot of the Pro Bowl games yesterday?
I consumed exactly 1 minute of Pro Bowl coverage.
Ooh, which one? Was it good? Seems like not.
I will give you the minute that I consumed. The minute that I consumed was Geno Smith dropped back to pass and then decided to run. And I heard the voices that were talking about it, and I was trying to recognize them. And one of them was McAfee, and then it was Herb Street, and it didn't seem like anyone knew what the rules were. He had run, but he wasn't supposed to run. It was flag football, and all I noticed was, wow, I'm surprised that stadium is full of people for this. That football is so popular that stadium is full, and that no one knows what the actual rules are to the flag football.
Well, there was actually a controversial ending to the game because it seemed like the same situation was going on with the rules, where Peyton Manning seems to have been the only person that knew the actual rules of the game, and he did not like the final play of the game where a knee was taken, and he was running on the field to protest the outcome of the flag football game in the Pro Bowl games. He wasn't happy. I don't think that he won the argument.
But at the end, what we had Peyton Manning fighting for was legitimately and seriously the rules.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was pissed. You didn't see this? He was mad. He
No, I
was
didn't
running
see it.
on the field, and he
loves rules, Dan.
He was screaming at
fuming.
the official, which I believe, if I heard right, is a Big Ten official. So I think they had college referees calling the game. I don't exactly know, but he was very mad at how it ended, and he was like yelling at Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins was saying they told me I was allowed to kneel, like very like, don't come after me, Peyton Manning, please. I'm sorry. I was just following what they told me I could do. And then Eli had like a Gatorade bath afterwards. It was a whole thing. It was very exciting. Pro Bowl games.
I believe the rules is that once you got inside the 5, you were not allowed to run the ball. Yeah. And so the NFC, there was a late 4th down where to try and ice the game. It went incomplete, but there was a flag, and so a penalty flag. And so then the NFC had the ball inside the 5, and Kirk Cousins went to take a knee to kneel out the clock. And Peyton Manning, the second Kirk Cousins' knee hit the ground, Peyton Manning runs out of the field and goes, "That's against the rules." And he's like yelling this. He was still mad about it like 15 minutes later. Like how seriously competitive he was about the AFC versus NFC flag football game, that he was fuming that like they violated the you can't run inside the 5 rule.
Do you guys think, because I was wondering this, do you guys think that Peyton is just super competitive and he really wanted to win the Pro Bowl, or do you think that it's because Eli beat him?
It's such a great question because Eli has always known the rules, and the rules win, and there's my big dumb-faced brother winning this goddamn game when he doesn't care about anything the way I care about it. It's why I'm the more successful brother, because I adhere to the rules. And Eli won because he was on the sidelines doing what? I read that he was hanging around with Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah, he beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. I mean, not certain who won that battle, to be honest with you.
They were very serious about the whole thing. Like, they had designed plays. They were calling the plays. They were arguing about which play they wanted to
Billy,
run.
Imagine what it's like to be Peyton Manning's little brother, like when you're 9.
Yeah.
It's probably been that for Eli Manning for his entire life, getting buried by being the second Manning.
Imagine what it's like to be Coop.
But
Imagine what it's like being Arch.
Oh, boy.
Eli seems to take it all in stride, though. Yeah. He seems to have like a really funny personality. He knows that he's just a different guy than Peyton Manning. And if anything, like Stugotz said, not because he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, though that certainly helps. Feels like Eli Manning won the war there. Yeah.
Oh, but
overall,
expectations, all of it. Yeah.
Lifestyle, like he sort of got
throw it all in.
Got to take it way less seriously and have about the same amount of success.
Yeah.
And have fun.
I saw that he was a top 10, I think, if I read this right, he's a top 10 quarterback in both receiving yards and touchdowns, which is like Eli Manning. Who knew? I kind of think maybe, and like this might be crazy, and you guys, I kind of, every time I try to say something that may be crazy now, I think about it and think, would you want this on a billboard? But I'll say this. Eli Manning, I wonder if he was the more talented Manning brother and realized he could just kind of coast by on like C's his whole life. You know what I mean? Like he naturally didn't have to try as hard, and he could be like the C student quarterback who has, decent success while not taking it so seriously, and he could just live like a more chill life and still have the success and the same number of Super Bowls as Peyton, and he didn't have to work as hard.
You chuck in a couple of A's, a couple of A-pluses when you play Tom Brady. You beat him twice, and then boom, better career.
That's when you need to flex. You flex when you need to, not all the time, because then what happens? You end up going to Germany, and some weird thing happens with your neck, and then all of a sudden you can do everything again.
Peyton had the better career than Eli Manning. Well, they won as many Super Bowls, right? But what you're saying is a good point because Eli seemed to take it a little bit less stressfully. You guys have seen this on God Bless Football. You've seen a more relaxed Eli Manning, who you know today is texting his brother, "Hey, I beat you there at the end. You knew the rules, but you know he's
W.
He is burying his brother today, and Peyton is still enraged about knowing the rules, and it didn't help him."
And also, if the reverse happened and Peyton beat Eli, Eli is so nonplussed about everything that he's like, nah. You beat me in the Pro Bowl. Who cares? Whereas, like,
Right.
it's the difference between caring and not caring. When you care about something, it hurts when you lose it. Whereas Eli doesn't care about anything. Like he'll do a middle finger on live television. He's just sort of living life, having fun.
Billy might have this right as a life principle. You'd be a little worse, but a little happier, a little less uptight.
How do you think Peyton reacted when he found out Tyler Huntley was on his roster?
How many? I think Tyler Huntley had 2 passing touchdowns this year.
How did that happen?
He did.
They just ran out of options, clearly.
Sheesh.
Well, we talked last week about 3 Carolina Panthers quarterbacks had better stats.